we've got to really understand there's a sea change occurring, and many of our clients, many in the C-suite, many in the agencies are relying on their intuition of the way that marketing and consumer behavior used to work in the past. It's changing fundamentally. So we've got to understand that in this new world era, that especially if you're marketing to the under 25s, if you're going to market in the same way, you're going to be so much less effective. And it's not just about fragmenting media. It's a completely fundamental sea change and a transformation to the way that marketing needs to be undertaken. So I want more planning to have a much more sophisticated consumer profile, shopper profile, engagement profile. We've really got to understand that we've got to close the gap. We've got to get much more efficient in terms of the ideas that we're generating, the way we're actually turning those into marketing programs. We're too long, we're too slow, we're too cumbersome, we don't have the immediacy, we don't iterate fast enough. So these are strategic challenges for the organisation. And that actually leads to another point, which is something I've already made the change, talking to our chief technology guys. They're no longer CIOs, they're no longer chief information officers, they're CTCs, they're chief technology catalysts. I want the technology catalyst to be working less on the back office and the machinery in terms of plumbing, wiring, servers, bandwidth, and being much more frontline, working with CEOs and managing directors about how technology enablement is going to change their business model. How are we going to automate? How are we going to systematize? How are we going to remove the redundant business process so we can shift as much money as I can out of our business model into the very smartest creatives, very smartest strategists, very smartest operators and project managers. I mean, this is where we're going to add value in the organisation. We can't run. I mean, the economics and the complexity of what we're doing. There's not enough money. There's too many challenges, and we've got to really have a different business model. I tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a generation of young account people and planners and creative people who have been starved of a lot of the innovation that's come through media, and that's a huge opportunity and a need to make sure that the insight, because the media side of the business has been one of the most innovative. I mean, it's been leading because of the technology, because of the digital developments, and I think to a certain extent this chasm that has really developed over the last decade, 2 decades in Europe, has become too wide. That in the name of media efficiency, a lot of marketing effectiveness has fallen through the cracks. And I think there's a lot of clients that I'm talking to now, global marketeers, who want both. They want strategic effectiveness and they want media efficiency, but they don't need. They know that moving their account and a 2% improvement on CPM is not going to shift the needle. It's not going to make a fundamental difference to their business. So they want both, because again, efficiency is what you do after you're effective. Once you decide what is the most effective thing you need to do, how do you then execute with precision efficiency? And I think what the media organisations need to do, and by the way, Initiative, and especially media brands within IPG, always sought to maintain a very close collaborative working relationship with the creative agencies. But I'm seeing, and it fills me with some sadness, that there's a generation of young media people who don't really understand the skills of content and storytelling and creative excellence, and vice versa. There's a lot of people in the creative agencies that really don't understand what's going on in media. We can't rely on a business model that's essentially about mass advertising and focusing in a traditional mentality that it's about the story and the content. If you don't understand the content, it has to be positioned with the right contact, and it's got to be in the right context. So it's deeply contextual. All the digital media are deeply contextual, which means there's a high level of accountability and measurability and addressability in the way that we can work with them. So ultimately, that's our opportunity, is to make sure that we have the right skills in the creative organisation, that the ideas that are being generated are super smart across whatever relevant platform we're going to be using. So smarter collaboration between media organisations and the creative organisations, and by the way, the media owners. Let's also acknowledge that the media partnership, and the ecosystem has got to extend. We can't do it alone. There's that many contents. I think about the media owners especially. They've got platforms, they've got communities, they've got storytellers, they've got creatives. They have more capability to be more proactive in the world of marketing, not just talking in terms of media, spots, dots, space. What is their role in terms of creating true brand engagement that's meaningful in terms of the initial experiences developed all the way through to the transaction, there's a huge opportunity there.